Biffle, Rob Morgan, Marty Houston. Yeah.
It will marginally. You know, they were going to do 3 pace laps, right? So let's keep track of how many extra they do, and the ratio is about 2 to 1.
Okay. In the second, in the first 15, the guys I think obviously I'll mention Biffle's time and speed,
Yeah,
and
you're going to do the first.
well, what I thought was I'll do him and Rob Morgan. Then you pick out. Do you
We
think
drive
Marty
across
Houston
that
deserves a
white line
call?
down there on
And
the
then
bottom.
pick out
I
another
think
guy
we're
who
going to be
deserves a
okay.
call.
Well, I think
Pit road speed yet or not?
Houston McMurray, uh, Houston McMurray, and Riggs all deserve a call there. You know,
Okay.
those are all.
All right. Why don't you take those? Then the last one on that page that I'll talk about will be Andy Houston.
So one second,
Who's
you're going to take.
I'm gonna take the front row. Then you're taking Marty, Jamie, and Scott.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna talk about Andy
Turn 3 on the high
being
side,
forced to
so
the back, and then hopefully we go to the next
I don't
page,
want
and
to head into there with cold
there we
tires,
can even
so
be
if we
quicker.
break
And we can
out, get
talk
me
about
down.
when we talk about Andy going. We can kind of expound on that later.
Yeah. Then
Well, and I think we need to point out Tolsma in 18th.
right. Okay, so I finished with Andy Houston. You pick it up with Tolsma. Who else? Well, probably in that group, Corelli, Grissom, and Hensley. All three further back than we normally see them.
Okay. And a note that Hensley has generally raced a lot better than he's qualified this year.
Yep. Okay, so you got Tolsma. Then I'll do Corelli, Grissom, Hensley. You can kick in on Hensley, and then we go to the last page, and then we go. Oh.
They got jet dryers in turns 3. There's one on the apron, there's one coming into 3, and there's one here on the front straightaway. So stay
Okay, how
low
many
going
pace
into
laps do
3.
they run right now?
Start working on that,
I think this is coming up on 3, isn't it?
Good for you, Aaron. Near water.
Boy, the jet dryer is a long way from turn
It's
1.
coming out of the track, so I don't care what they do, they ain't gonna get rid of that. Give me a bit of room or we'll both wreck. You know, if he gets me down on that thing. Because it's a bit slick because it's painted.
Who's that donking?
Out of range. He is.
He's standing.
Keep working right there. Maybe you guys could do that on pit road. Around here to the front stretch.
Yeah, I've already talked to him.
Okay, I'm going to keep track of the laps here. I'm going to say that's 3, which is close enough. Because I'm getting the feeling they're going to do like 10 or 15 here.
On that line. There you go. Patrick now.
Well, this definitely turns into a fuel race. Big time. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, that is pretty
Still
interesting.
reasonable, right, Carl? Yeah, I got it. Actually, thanks a lot.
That must make the insurance guy very nervous.
See the weeper up in 2?
Yeah.
You're sort of like I am.
Three more, so that's going to be twice as many laps.
Richard, you got to copy Richard.
So, you know, that might pull you know, if Biffle was 57, that pulls that back to about 55.
Yep.
But it doesn't affect the last stint.
No.
It just affects the first
Right.
run.
You
So.
just
To go would be plenty. You know, they come in really good now.
Hey, Dennis, can you see the weeping under that Chevy sign in turn 2?
Right there. You got it.
Right there. Yeah, there you go.
It's on the very high line, though. I mean, that's if they go 3 wide there, they'll hit it. If they go 2,
Oil.
might just get
Good
the edge of it.
voltage. 6.5 pounds of fuel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next time you come around out of 3-4, take a look at how you got to come into the pits because I think the asphalt's kind of slippery because there's still water down here a little. Not water, but it's damp.
Huh?
Everybody stand by. Sandy drive.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. No, actually, it looks like they've got about 25, 30. Because this place, well, maybe there've been a lot of no-shows.
Everybody in the back, Sprague, and everybody else is getting a better scrub on their tires than you because they got room to move around.
3.
Andy Houston drifting to the back.
Great. Okay. Just let me know if you need me to say that. Let everybody know why.
Is that a camera issue or a chopper issue? Right. That ought to be just in
Okay.
time for the rain.
And you got all 3 on boards. Okay, if you say. You're the man.
You mean you dumbass.
The man.
D-A. Or D-U-H, whichever way you.
Well, Billy Engel said Rob's got to get more aggressive. He had a good starting position and fell back because he wasn't driving aggressive enough early.
Well, this is his chance. Run side by side through turn 1, hit the water, and crash.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about, too.
Who's got Rob Morgan on the pool?
Nobody.
Can I take him?
I couldn't take him. I went.
No, I've already got. Well, that's what I was kind of going after there, with the potential side by side through turn 1. I've got Corelli. And I'm not going to play at Watkins Glen if I have to pick last.
See her very well? There. Yeah, I can see her pretty good.
I picked last. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but you.
Round 11 of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the Pronto Auto Parts 400, is presented by Pronto Auto Parts Stores, always the smart choice for auto parts. And in part by Dodge. In a perfect world, everything would be different. And by Mopar. Parts for Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, and Jeep vehicles from the dealerships that sell and install them. That's the Mopar difference. Speaking of Mopar, let's take a look at our Mopar starting grid. On the pole, 30.3 seconds at 178 miles an hour. Greg Biffle in the Granger Ford, and Rob Morgan, a career best.
And a tip of the hat there to Marty Houston with that great 4th qualifying position. Brian Reffner in 6th, Jamie McMurray in 7th, and Scott Riggs in 8th.
Now, Andy Houston crashed in happy hour. More on that in a minute, but that means he's going to lose that number 9 spot and slide all the way back to the back of the field. Then as we move further on down from position 16 on, look at Randy Tolsma, 2nd last week. That crucial decision, 2 laps to go. He starts 18th.
And a couple other key players there, 19th, Rick Corelli, and Jimmy Hensley in 21st, and he often races a lot better than he qualifies.
A total of 37 trucks in tonight's field, and aero packages have been the topic of discussion. They have had a lot of changes, moving the blade up to 8 inches from 7th and 65 degrees instead of 55, and it has had an effect. Here's our race analysis. 167 laps, 250.5 miles. That's 400 kilometers. The purse, 588,000. The pit window, somewhere between 50 and 60 laps. And the race record, Kenny Irwin back in 97, 131.8 miles an hour.
And 3 onboards. Number 18, Joe Ruttman drives the Dana Dodge. And here's the number 2 of Mike Wallace, drives the Team ASE Ford. And here's Scott Riggs, number 86. He starts 8th in the Royal Crown Dodge.
So as they come out of turn 4, the pace truck pulls in, and this rain-delayed race. Round 11 of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. The Pronto Auto Parts 400 is green. Coming out of turn 4, Greg Biffle's going to lead the first lap side by side. Busch gets around Reffner. Further back, there is Jack Sprague. He's following Scott Riggs. Jamie McMurray, Mike Wallace side by side. On board with Mike Wallace, 10th place. Sprague right in front of him.
And Jack Sprague picked up a couple of positions on that first lap, up to 8th, now up to 7th as he gets back past Riggs. You can hear Mike Wallace feathering the throttle there into turn 3. Not a big surprise. They've had a lot of rain, and so the track will be very green.
Rain delay went several hours, finally getting underway. Whoa, look out, Sprague and Mike Wallace. They've had some incidents in the past. No contact there, but it's awfully close when you're running at about 173 miles an hour.
And keep in mind with this revised aero package, which we'll talk about a little bit, the truck's definitely more sensitive at the rear. So very easy for Mike Wallace to get up there and take a little bit of air off that rear spoiler of Jack Sprague.
On board again with Mike Wallace. He's going to go underneath Jack Sprague. Still side by side. That's Brian Reffner right in front of him.
33. We could be like there's about 4 trucks, hamburger buns, and 3 trays of hot dog buns up here.
Somebody's ordering hot dog buns on the radio. That's Reffner's radio. I wonder if he's got somebody bleeding in. That could create havoc.
That could certainly create some havoc. You saw Mike Wallace now. He gets by Jack Sprague. So Wallace now up in the 7th position.
While you're watching all this, we'll let you know it's still Greg Biffle, Rob Morgan, and Marty Houston running 1, 2, 3. Dennis Setzer has moved up to 4th. Kurt Busch is in 5th.
So Rob Morgan, you can see Biffle there bouncing. That's that bump between 3 and 4.
That's Biffle's radio in the background. Well, they've got a problem also.
And I was going to say, Rob Morgan a little tentative on the start, but now settling in very nicely. You can hear
a pretty good lead.
That's Randy Goss talking to Greg Biffle. And Rob Morgan has really settled in very nicely here.
You heard him say 30.7. That's the lap time. The qualifying lap was 30.3.
About what Ken told you. Oh, yeah, thanks.
Andy Houston Houston has moved up to 26. Now, he had a crash, a very hard crash, ruining the primary truck. Had to go to the back of the field, 37th. He's picked up 11 spots already. He's on the move.
And he had a pretty good truck. And Greg Biffle, in happy hour last night, Greg Biffle got up behind him, took the air off the spoiler, and Andy crushed the front of that truck, and it was just not repairable.
Carlos Contreras has pulled the Hot Wheels Dodge into pit lane. Remember, he has suffered a injury as stretched ligaments, and it'll be Doug George climbing in. So they're in pit lane. In fact, the change has been made, and they're going back out. So I think they're going to lose one lap there. Battle for 7th. There's Brian Refner right in front of Jack Sprague.
And you can see just up in front of Refner, Wallace was able to get around Refner. So Wallace now up to 6th. Refner back to 7th. Sprague continues in 8th position.
Running at 171. Oh, no. That is Randy Renfro, and a lot of smoke coming out of his Dodge. The Ferris Concrete Dodge still looking for a major sponsor, and that's what cubic dollars will do for you, eliminate those kinds of problems.
And you can see where a lot of that smoke is coming from, and it looks like maybe a gearbox problem. Oh, no, he's got the smoke out of the pipe.
The battle for 5th going on right now. There is Mike Wallace going around, the number 1 of Dennis Setzer. We're on board with Wallace. He's pulling away.
Well, no question. Mike Wallace, the truck on the move here right now. And these guys need to think about this race a little bit differently. There's a very good chance it could rain here, and so these guys need to really think about this as an 87-lap race, because if it does rain, we need to get to halfway, and that's critical.
2 hour and 15-minute rain delay. And you're right, there is more weather on the horizon. But we're racing at the Pronto Auto Parts 400. Greg Biffle's out front. Boy, I'm not used to having that over there, but I flipped that over because we couldn't get speeds.
Oh, here, 1 second.
No, I just did.
Yeah.
No, I put it on that one. To see, the other one was a duplicate of NASCAR scoring, just a lesser version of what we already had.
Caleb, backing down to the speed here. Keep me posted.
So Setzer's definitely struggling.
Yeah, Setzer's got a problem, guys. He's backing up.
Yeah, I think he's just struggling with the truck a little bit. McMurray's still running well.
Okay, who's really on the go? Houston's 22nd.
Tolsma hasn't done a whole lot.
No, 14th. He's picked up 4 spots. Grissom Corelli haven't done anything. Hensley's still back there.
Well, the guy that's really on the go is Wallace.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Wallace is the guy we got to watch, because he's rolled up behind Busch now.
Whoa, looks like he got down on that line. Remember they were saying it was greasy down there? And he pulls right into pit lane.
Well, that's on the back straight.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's turn 1, not 4. Yeah. Thank you.
Jill, keep an eye on Wallace, because he's kind of the guy on the move. And he was rolling up behind Busch.
He is running laps 3/100 slower than our race leader.
Tim's 180, 210 oil.
Okay.
Everything looks good. Just breathe the throttle back like this, kid.
Okay. Back at the Pronto Auto Parts 400, round 11 of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and Mike Wallace has moved into 4th. Kurt Busch has moved into 3rd. Marty Houston has slid back 2 positions. We got 4 Fords in the top 4.
And Mike Wallace had rolled up behind Kurt Busch, and I think he put a bit of pressure on him, and he pushed him right past Houston, and so the two of them now have legged out on Houston just a little bit here, but certainly Mike Wallace starting 11th up to 4th.
And let's talk a little bit about this aero change. making the blade taller, bringing the angle up from 55 to 65 degrees. And the Fords seem to be the least affected, and so far it's bearing out.
And that's what we, talking to the guys down in the garage, that's what we were able to get from the Fords. We're already a little bit closer, especially at the front of the truck, where they have to have the 80 inches across the bumper right down to the bottom. And so the guys felt that the Fords were going to be least affected, the Chevrolets potentially the most affected. Excuse me, the most affected.
All this action still going on, 151 laps remaining here. Mike Wallace can't seem to get a good run on Kurt Busch. And remember, these guys have some history. Wallace turned Busch around at Portland in the Festival Curves. Now, while we were in commercial break a few laps earlier, let's show you what happened to John Young. This is turn number 2.
And you can see there the left side of the truck down on the white line, and he might have put it down on the apron. It was hard to tell from that distance, but a great job to keep it down, up off the wall and get it down on the apron. No yellow flag there.
He did come in for a pit stop to change the flat spotted tires, but you're right, no yellow, and we're still racing green. And clicking off the laps now, the race leader's down to 171. And we heard him talk on the radio during the commercial break. He was letting it breathe just a little bit.
Well, I think right now Greg Biffle is in a bit of a cruise mode, and they're happy where they're at. I think their truck is just a fantastic truck tonight, and it was great in qualifying. As a matter of fact, it was great as soon as they unloaded it off the transporter.
He has a 4.5-second lead over second place, Rob Morgan. And there is the battle for third on your screen between Kurt Busch and Mike Wallace.
And you've got to give full points to Rob Morgan. There you can see the gap. There is Morgan over the start-finish line. There is Busch. There's Wallace. You've got to give full points to Rob Morgan. They're really getting that team together, and Rob a lot more confident.
Since Billy Engel came on as crew chief. In fact, after the last race where Morgan slid back at the start, Billy got on him and said, look, you're running up front now. You're qualifying well. You got to get in the throttle early. And so far, he's doing a great job, and he is 4.8 seconds back. These two are 6.5 seconds behind our race leader, Greg Biffle.
And running lap times that are pretty much identical to Greg Biffle right now.
Look at Wallace going underneath. So Wallace from 11th has now moved into third. We go on board.
So let's see what Mike Wallace has got here. He was able to close that gap down on Kurt Busch pretty easily. Took him a number of laps to get around. And let's see if he can bridge that gap up to Rob Morgan.
Starting to stretch it out on Kurt Busch. Get an idea just how fast these guys are flying as they come across the stripe again. Wallace with a 31.4. That's quicker than the race leader. Now let's move back a little further. Marty Houston and Jack Sprague. That's a battle for 5th on the racetrack. They're 8 seconds behind the race lead.
And who knows where these trucks are right now, because we've had a lot of rain. Of course, happy hour last night. No rain yesterday, but 2 significant rainstorms today. So a lot of adjustments to do on the trucks. And keep in mind, this race was supposed to start a number of hours ago. It should have been a lot hotter, a lot warmer, and that's what a lot of these guys were planning on.
Whoa, getting awful close together. Sprague trying to go underneath, take the spot away. Remember, he started 10th. He's now moving into 5th. You know, Marty Houston's backing up a little bit right now, but his average finish so far, 17th place this year compared to 26th last year. Let's get more on Sprague, and oh, he may be getting passed right back by Houston. Dave Burns, what you got?
And it looks, Marty, like Marty Houston is going to take that spot, but no, Sprague fighting back. One of the changes they made for Sprague was they adapted to the cool weather. They changed the jets and the carburetor for a little bit cooler weather because they thought that the weather might push us further into the evening here in Texas. Ronnie Rivas and Howard Shipwash, the engine tuners, made that decision, and they gave him a little bit fatter burning in the carburetor, a little bit richer, and Jack should have a little bit more power because of that.
Ryan Reffner's caught up to this pack as well. We can tell you the 31 of John Young has gone behind the wall. Also, Randy Renfro's problem, turns out that he had a hole in the radiator. That's what all the smoke was coming out of the 41. Meanwhile, let's go back to the front where the lead has been cut to 2 seconds. Biffle has slowed down a bit. Could it be traffic? Well, we'll find out when we come back to the Pronto Auto Parts 400. Well, he's running 32.3. And there's Sprague running 31.5.
Where's the 46?
He's up straight away as you are, position 2.
There's about 7 lap trucks in between you and him. He's back there struggling with the traffic.
Yeah, see, Biffle got slowed down coming through this group.
It's a little free on the outside of him.
Well, there goes Wallace going right around him. They got him pinched, and so's Bush. He got caught. Ah, too bad. That's experience.
That is experience. Joel. Hey, yeah, have you got the onboard from the 2 truck? Okay, because that should be good. Okay. That'd be special.
Where's Andy Houston? He's up to 20th.
Yeah, but he's only 10 seconds from going a lap down. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Wallace is
flying.
Your computer's freaking out a little bit here.
I know.
Okay, good.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series next week, we're going to debut at a brand new speedway, Kentucky Speedway in Sparta for the Kroger 225, 7:30 Eastern Time. That's a week from Saturday, next Saturday, right here on ESPN. The yellow flag is out, and we have had contact into the wall. Trying to get a truck number on who made the contact. It was Jay Stewart, the number 33, and Jay has tagged it pretty hard on the front side of the truck. He qualified in the 37th position. This is his 3rd career start, and it doesn't look like it's going to end on a very good note.
No, that truck is a mess, and they're definitely done. So real opportunity here for guys to stop under yellow and make some adjustments. Certainly Mike Wallace has been on the move up to 2nd now, was able to get by Rob Morgan.
Yeah, in fact, Morgan got caught in the very same traffic that allowed the lap times to close up on the race leader. And he got past, actually got snookered pretty good by the lap traffic. Wallace and Bush bumped him back to 4th from his 2nd spot. And boy, Jay's not going to make it all the way back to pit lane. So let's go back real time, see what happened here.
And we could not see what got that started. It wouldn't be hard to believe that there was a little bit of contact in there, and certainly a little bit of contact after the contact. And I can't see the number on that truck on the left.
Boy, and it looks like they're doing a dance together there, trying to get untangled. Oh, Jay's got no steering. That's what his biggest problem was. He couldn't do anything. And here we go, lap 30 that we have run here, and the leaders are coming in. There's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Let's go to Amy East first.
Well, Greg Biffle had just radioed in that he felt like his truck was getting a little squirrely coming off of 4th, so they've decided to take on left side tires. Of course, that will tighten up the truck slightly for Greg, and that's what they're hoping for. Dave Burns.
Rob Morgan is in. They take right side tires. Wedge adjustment. Jack thrown back over. Wrench thrown back over the wall. And now Rob Morgan is out of here. Very confident in the Morgan pits. The radio chatter to Rob on the track has been very confident. He was just a little bit off. They said, come on in. We'll make it perfect.
Well, Mike Wallace also took left side tires, but Kurt Busch took right side and did not fare very well on the exchange there. He's lost several positions here in the pit lane. We'll sort it out for you. Also, everybody else in the front lead pack took rights except for the 50 and the 2. They took lefts. So remember, under caution in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, you can only change a maximum of 2 tires. And that's what makes this strategy so interesting. We're going to take another commercial break. We'll update you on who came in and who did the best job in the pits when we come back. Lap 31.
Yeah, I got 30.
Well, yeah, but when they crossed the line, they had completed 31, so it's actually lap 31 when they made the stop.
See, I think they took lefts because they're worried about the rain.
What now? Okay.
See, I think they took lefts because they're worried about the rain. They want to stop the next time and have good rights in case they had got a race to lap.
I think it's, makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Plus, if you, here's the other thing. You could go now on those lefts the rest of the way if you had to.
You could.
See, now you could change rights twice.
Well, it'd be, yeah, a long way to go, but.
Hey guys, can anybody ask the 50 and the 2 if that's their strategy, going left and then leaving those for the rest of the race, and see if they'll do rights from here on out?
Look at Bush, 3rd to 7th.
Okay, hold on a second. Who was in the accident? We never did get a truck number there because our shot was straight on. No, there was another truck involved with them, and we never did see a number. Was there anybody else that came in? Look as they come by. See if you see anybody with some damage.
Sorry, Joel.
Patrick Lawler.
Copy that.
Okay. Okay, so it's BA, huh? Okay. All right. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Refner came out smelling like a rose in this one. Morgan lost a
so
spot.
did Sprague.
Bush got hammered. 3rd to 7th.
Setzer picked up a couple, 2-3 positions.
Yeah, so did Rutman tonight. Tolsma up to 10th. Good pit stop.
Look at this.
Mr. Cook's 11th. NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, we call it extra. All right. All right. Under our first caution here at the Pronto Auto Parts 400, you're looking at the 73 of B.A. Wilson. He's a home Texan from Bonham, and he wants to do better on the series.
Myself, I think, is being consistent with the race truck and being able to tell them exactly what it's doing, and we don't have to fight around wondering if that's what it's doing. At least I know what it's doing. And on the racetrack, we've been able to, luckily, I don't know if it's me or the luck, we've been able to stay out of trouble, and we've had a pretty good race truck. We just hadn't got the finishes that we think we deserve, and hopefully we'll get there. We've just lacked a little bit, but we've been getting better each week, which keeps everybody happy that we keep making strides in that way. And
Well, he qualified in the 16th position. His career best is a 12th place finish, and that was back in '99, the last race of the season at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And you can see his credentials there, late model champion, also the 2000 season where he has actually led 14 laps. And this is another one of those teams that cubic dollars equals cubic performance. And here we go. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing here at Texas Motor Speedway. And the flag is out and we're underway. Top 5, it's Greg Biffle, Mike Wallace, Jack Sprague, Brian Refner, and then the 46 of Rob Morgan. And look at the Exide Ford. Kurt Busch lost 4 positions in the pits, came out 7th, but he's picking up spots already.
Well, it's going to take that kind of aggressive driving. Look at Mike Wallace goes to the lead. So we saw him on the march before the yellow flag, and he picks up right where he left off.
Now remember, Wallace and Biffle were the 2 front runners that changed the left side tires. Want to talk a little strategy?
Well, I think the strategy there is there's a couple of things. One, they've got the possibility to go all the way on this set of left side tires. But more importantly, if we get rain and this race ends up being an 88 or a 90 or a 95 lap race, you want to have the fresh right side tires on the next stop. And I think a lot of these guys are going to be forced to go to left side tires on the next stop.
There is Rob Morgan. That's the battle for 5th.
Now look at Kurt Busch with those fresh right side tires, and Kurt Busch is on the move.
Got to spin down into the grass. Ryan McGlynn, also Marty Houston, and he is sliding. Look at how much water. You can see how much rain we have had here. He's got to be soaked inside the Spears Chevrolet. He's down into pit lane. Has he kept it fired? Caution is out. He's got it running. I don't know how. Looks like a hydroplane.
He's got to get this thing turned around so he can stay on this lead lap.
Ryan McGlynn, they're on the back stretch.
Look at Terry Cook.
Terry Cook has got damage to the left front quarter panel. So the 88 pickuptruck.com Chevrolet, oh, he's got a flat left front as well. He's limping around. We can tell you Marty Houston has gotten back out. He has not lost a lap, although he lost a ton of track position. If you're just tuning in, welcome to round 11 of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Marty Reed along with Jeremy Dale, Amy East, Dave Burns down in pit lane. We're under our second caution as we had a spin and heavy contact on the front straightaway. Terry Cook, one of those involved. Amy East, he's heading your way.
It just seems like this team's had some bad luck lately after they started off the season very strong. Terry Cook now makes it to his pit stall. Heavy damage to the left front. Brother Jerry Cook now tries to remove some of the sheet metal so when they get that fresh left side tire on, they won't have any rub from that sheet metal. So right now, that's their main priority, is trying to break away the sheet metal on the left side of the pickuptruck.com Chevrolet. Has some heavy left front damage.
First career top 10 in the series came here at Texas Motor Speedway in 1998. That flag signifies the pits are closed. There's our race leaders. Mike Wallace in front of Greg Biffle. Let's go back and take a look from Joe Ruttman's point of view.
They come off turn 4 here. There's Marty Houston. It looks like Marty Houston just got a little bit loose there. He rolled up behind and looked like Setzer there, and he got a little loose and spun to the inside. We never saw Terry Cook in that replay, so we don't know exactly what happened to Terry Cook.
Now there is Marty Houston. He did get the truck refired, as we pointed out. He's at the back end of the pack, but he is on the lead lap, and he'll be coming in when they open the pit lane. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll sort things out, find out who's got what. Look at Jack Sprague now into 3rd with Refner in 4th. '43's going for lefts. Yeah. There's
Who else?
Double O's going for lefts, not a factor. Houston's coming in. He's going for rights. No. They're not race winners. Yeah, when's this air? Sunday night. Saturday night. Jeez. Right. Yep. Saturday night. I'm going to say Saturday night. I'm afraid I don't have any copy up here. That's right. That's right. That's one we don't have. That's fine. Lights out in the pace truck.
Terry Cook stayed on the lead lap.
Yeah, he's 21st. And Marty Houston's 20th.
Are there any other replays of that, Jill? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's... Well, if we could see what caused or all the other stuff. Yep. Under our second caution here at Texas Motor Speedway. Now, Saturday night, RPM tonight. That's 12:30 in the morning, 9:30 p.m. Pacific time. Hope we're not confusing you too much. We'll have truck highlights and IRL highlights, all from Texas Motor Speedway. RPM tonight on ESPN2. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network, go.com. We had a multi-car spin involving Marty Houston, Terry Cook. The pace truck has come off. Terry Cook managed to stay on the lead lap as well. He's in 21st. Houston's in 20th. We're back to green flag racing with Mike Wallace in front of Greg Biffle, Jack Sprague, Brian Repner, and Rob Morgan. Here we go.
Well, the guy that was really on the move on that restart the last time was Kurt Busch, and there he is again. Right now sitting in 6th position. And I think he picked up, no, there he is. There's trying to get by Rob Morgan now. So he started to work on Rob Morgan when the yellow came out. And look at Repner, just about side by side with Sprague.
Yeah, he's going to have to back off a little bit there, though. Brian Repner qualified 6th. He has 7 top 10 finishes in a row. This is his 100th career start. He has never won a NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, but the former Rookie of the Year has been getting oh so close with this Johns Manville Chevrolet team. John Menard, the team owner, he has gotten around Sprague, and here comes Rob Morgan and Kurt Busch. They may try and go by as well.
Well, those two running side by side allowed Morgan and Busch to close up, and now it looks like Morgan trying to make his way by Jack Sprague. I think Kurt Busch has probably got the fastest of these 3 trucks right now, but there's not much he can do with it. Repner doing a great job, and Rob Morgan doing a great job.
Morgan's career best finish, 5th at Topeka. He's a road course specialist, but since Billy Ingles come on board, this program on the ovals has been doing nothing but going up. Here comes Busch on the inside of Morgan. Looks like he may have him this time.
There's no question those Roush motors make some horsepower, but the truck has to handle well. And you can see how well Kurt Busch was able to come off that corner, but he had the horsepower to back it up and finish that pass.
And Busch now starts to put a little distance between his 99 Exide Ford and the Axiom Ford. Let's move a little bit further back. There is Joe Ruttman, Rick Crawford in the 14, and the number 1 of Dennis Setzer. That's 8th, 9th, and 10th.
And Dennis Setzer, after starting 3rd, fell back. Certainly not very happy with the truck early on. And you can see there's Ruttman. He started 13th, currently running 8th. So Setzer now getting back into this race just a little bit.
Let's get some more from Dave Burns.
Joe Ruttman running 7th now. He actually running 7th. Took on right side tires, made a wedge adjustment. Danny Gill back in form this weekend for the team. The crew chief who was laying out for a suspension from NASCAR, and I talked with him just before the start of the race. They don't like the truck they've brought. Too much downforce, and with the rule changes, they just kind of spread out the front end rather than building a whole new truck like some other teams did. But obviously they're dealing with it, and Ruttman's picking up positions.
Yeah, 2 of those 3 races, Ruttman, while Gill was on suspension, had his 2 worst finishes of the year. Look at this. Well, take a look at the battle up front. Refner has closed in. This is a 3-truck battle for the race lead.
And I'll tell you, Kurt Busch went by Jack Sprague much too easily there.
You got Mike Wallace, then Greg Biffle, Brian Refner, and now a little bit further back, there is the 99 creeping up into this battle as well. There's Kurt Busch. Sprague is back to 5th.
Now keep in mind, Kurt Busch has fresh right side tires. So does Refner, but Biffle and Wallace do not. They took lefts on lap 31.
Well, look at this. This is great racing. We're doing this, folks, at 170 miles an hour.
Inside.
Max Jones talking to his driver, Greg Biffle.
Inside, still there. You're clear.
And I'll tell you, Greg Biffle didn't give him more than an inch more than he needed there. And look at Kurt Busch was able to get around Refner there because Refner had to pinch it down, and Busch able to free it up a little bit coming off turn 2, and he gets by Refner.
So you got 3 Fords running 1, 2, 3, and then 2 Chevrolets in 4th and 5th, and another Ford in 6th. All in your screen. That's the top 6 racing for position. This has turned out to be a great one. We waited 2 hours and 15 minutes through a rain delay to get to this point. It's been worth it.
And we hear that Dennis Setzer may have run into some motor problems. He's dropped back to 17th, so our defending champion running into problems.
Dave, you got more on the number 1?
Yeah, I checked with Howard Comstock. He made that motion like snapping a pencil in half. I asked him if it was the motor. He said yes. He thinks we're on 7 cylinders. Looks like 8 cylinders for Greg Biffle, huh?
Well, Greg Biffle has just gotten around to take the race lead. Kurt Busch came with him. So did Brian Refner. All of a sudden, Mike Wallace is back to 4th.
And I guarantee you, Kurt Busch wants to get up and lead this race, and he should be because he's got those fresh right side tires.
So right now, the Killer Bees from Roush Racing, Biffle and Busch running 1, 2. Boy, Brian Refner's got a great run going. Top running Chevrolet at this point. You're asking where's the top running Dodge? Back in 8th with Joe Ruttman. Trying to break up the draft. We're going to take a commercial break. That is Matt Chambers, crew chief for Kurt Busch. Stay with us. Marty Houston up to 12th, fighting his way back. No.
Yeah, no, that was the right thing. It's just,
Coming up on
I just didn't want
turn
to.
3, yellow one.
I just didn't want to. You know, he should have been at the back of that line, and I didn't see him, so I looked down and.
We got around.
Didn't he run on 7 at St. Louis? Yeah. They've had more motor problems this year than they've ever had.
31 flat, first set of 2.
Tolsma.
Tolsma's up to 9th.
Ran a pretty good lap times, too.
Outside.
Houston
You're
to
clear.
11th.
Clear.
What you want to do with the right side tires the next stop? 31.5.
Yeah, Tolsma's up to 8th. He's just gotten around Ruttman. Yep.
Tighten them up a pound.
Sprague's in 5th.
Okay.
Coming up on some slow ones. There's a whole bunch of them ahead of that. No courtesy breaks that draft. I'm going to let him lead a lap. You gotta get through this traffic. Just watch out. The one's smoking real bad up ahead. He's in the groove, so be careful. low. He's going slow down the back.
Yeah, he's coming in
he's
now.
coming in.
Look at Bush has got to run here.
Well, he said he's going to let him lead a lap. Got a battle for the race lead. Kurt Busch is going to go around Greg Biffle. So he will pick up 5 bonus points for leading a lap. He'll be our 3rd different leader. And we've had 3 lead changes so far in the event. We're running on lap number 57. Dennis Setzer, black flagged. He was blowing smoke and oil all over the track. The Mopar Dodge, a motor problem, as we've already documented. And they're going to work underneath the hood.
And this is the last thing that that team needs right now. 5th in points, and they need to be scoring points. They need to be scoring top 5 finishes, and they also need to be winning races. And of course, he won here 1 year ago.
Well, remember, he was the winner here last year, so big disappointment there. No disappointment so far for the 3. That is Brian Reffner running in 30s, 1.1 seconds behind the race lead. And they're starting to run into some heavy traffic. Now, John Menard is the team owner. Of course, he's here for both this race and the Indy Racing Northern Lights Series. And I think he's with Amy East.
Yes, he is, Marty, and a proud owner. What a great weekend for you to be here watching your truck team. Are you proud of the accomplishment and the progression of your team thus far this year?
Yeah, I sure am. These guys are just the hardest working bunch of guys you ever met, and we're having a little success, and they sure deserve it. Brian's doing a great job. Bless, our crew chief is super. We've just had some good pit stops, and well, we just got to run the rest of this race. So.
All right, good luck.
Pardon?
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Reffner had 2 back-to-back super speedway runs. In fact, he was involved in the big crash at Daytona, 35th in that one, averaging 18.4 out in those first 2 races. But he has put together 7 top 10s in a row. And the Killer Bees, my friend, are starting to pull away.
Well, no question, these Rev trucks are running very, very well. They were able to cut their way through this traffic much better than the other guys seem to be. Okay, so it looks like now Kurt Busch has let Biffle get around him. That was pretty clear there. Kurt Busch rolled out of the throttle to let Biffle go.
He may have rolled out a little bit too much. He lost a lot of ground.
He might have rolled out a bit more than he wanted to. No question about that. You can see Brian Reffner there has now cleared that traffic as well.
Dennis Setzer is out of this race. What a disappointment for the man who won here last year. Dave Burns.
The defending champion on the sidelines. Dennis, obviously motor. Was it a thing that happened earlier, or was it all of a sudden?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It happened about 15 laps ago right there. Cut loose a couple of cylinders. You know, it's unfortunate for Team Mopar. Starting to make up a little ground the points and have another engine failure. You know, it's hard to make it up like that.
Howard Comstock said you were loose at the beginning as well. Did you have a handling problem also?
Yeah, we were a little loose. We backed up, got us a clear spot, started adjusting the truck, started getting better and better. I think we'd been fine till the end.
That'll be Dennis's 2nd DNF of the season. The other one came at Homestead. It will drop him at least to 6th in the points right now. If the race ended, Setzer would be about 271 points back, and that's going to be hard to catch up. Randy Tolsma on the move. Let's go on board with the Dana Dodge. That's Joe Ruttman. He is running currently in 8th position.
And Tolsma has put some lap traffic in between himself and Ruttman. And there's Andy Houston, who's now made a nice run as well. He sits in 10th.
And there is Rick Crawford and Houston duking it out side by side. So Andy Houston, after having to fall back to the back of this 37 truck field because he crashed his primary in happy hour, has knocking on the door for the top 10. They go around slower traffic. That's Jeff McClure in the 27. On board right now with Scott Riggs. Riggs coming over after Mike Cope left the team or was fired, depending on which version you follow, and so far has put back-to-back 9th place finishes. Currently running in the 11th spot, and he is going to be in this truck for the remainder of the 2000 campaign. The view from outside. 103 laps to go. Remember, the magic number is 84. That's the mid-race point. That's when this race would be official, and there is weather in the area. There's Rick Crawford and Andy Houston still running 9th and 10th.
Well, yeah, Houston was not really making a lot of progress before the yellow, and they've obviously adjusted that truck, and it's running much, much better because he did gain some positions on the pit stop, but since the green flag has come back out, he's made up a number of positions, and now looks like he's up to 9th position.
And look at Scott Riggs. When they were side by side there, it allowed him to close up. He's got a pretty good run. He's coming in on Rick Crawford. Crawford in the 10th slot. And boy, he is picking up on him fast. Crawford, 1 race victory. He was 3rd here in 97 at Texas. Let's get more on Riggs from Dave Burns.
Marty, I talked to him just before the green fell this evening. Scott was a little bit nervous because this is a pretty fast place, and he's only been on the short tracks in his career so far. The 66 laps run so far, the only ones he's run at Texas Motor Speedway. But he did his homework yesterday. He followed a lot of people, and in happy hour, Greg Biffle let him race a little bit with him. Greg went by him, took the air off the truck going into turn 1, and then Greg waved him back by so Scott could see what it felt like on either side. So he's gotten some good help this weekend, and Riggs is passing the test.
Well, did you see the back of Crawford's truck there coming up turn 2, moving around an awful lot? So Rick Crawford now not a very happy camper with that number 14 Milwaukee truck.
And Jamie McMurray has moved into this mix as well. The 26 is pulled in and is in battle for position as well. His best finish, Las Vegas of 99, where he came in 11th, and he is on the move, looking to go inside of Riggs, and that would be for 11th spot. McMurray from Joplin, Missouri. Stay with us. There's your top 5 at the Pronto Auto Parts 400. Back after this.
Tolsma's up to 7th and only 3/10 behind Morgan.
Yeah, look at this. This is a great battle right there, too. Oh.
Okay, Marty?
Oh, my head. Can't take any more medicine. I won't be able to function.
There goes Riggs by Crawford.
Indy Racing is now today, since this is airing at 3:30. Later today. Much later.
So Biffle should put Grissom down a lap.
Yeah, maybe getting rid of Fred Wanke wasn't such a good idea, or Fred retiring. Okay.
You got to assume that Refner's going off Sauter's notes from last year. So that's...
Yeah, maybe we should point that out.
I mean, that's not the truck that won. Did we confirm that that was not the truck that won?
That I don't know. I did not ask that question, to be honest. Whoa, race leader trying to get around Randy McDonald. Whoa, Randy. Man. Whoa, man, Randy. He's right. Oh, good Lord. He's already a lap down.
He's lucky, let me go. He's about ready to go for a ride.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, can't imagine why. Man, these guys are flying. The killer bees.
Inside. You're clear.
Yeah, well, Tolsma's definitely on the move.
It's okay.
Inside. You're clear. Clear low.
Well, that's better than the last time.
Outside. You're clear.
Okay. Racing continues here at Texas Motor Speedway later tonight, actually, as you're seeing this in the wee hours of the morning. Indy Racing Northern Lights Series. Scott Goodyear won it last year, 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN Saturday night. We try not to confuse you. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network, go.com. On board with Joe Ruttman, he was in 9th place. There's your race leader, putting Rick Corelli a lap down. That is Greg Biffle and Kurt Busch following right alongside and right behind, actually, as they are just pulling away. They have a 4-second lead now over 3rd place Brian Reffner. In fact, there you see the gap as they come down towards turn number 1. Let's take a look at our Dodge race recap. Biffle's the leader. He's led the most laps so far, 57 of 75. We had 4 lead changes among 3 different drivers. 2 cautions for 8 total laps. The average speed at 139.89 miles an hour. Then there are the 3 that have led: Biffle, Wallace, and Busch. Remember, 5 bonus points for leading a lap and 5 more for leading the most. Out of the race, we've got 5 trucks. Setzer, the biggest surprise there. Ryan McGlynn, Jay Stewart, John Young, and Randy Renfro. And now Greg Biffle in a bit of traffic. And there is Kurt Busch, who is separated now by B.A. Wilson. That is number 7 of David Starr. He is from the Dallas area, trying to do well here. He finished 14th last year. His career best is 11th this season at Memphis. And he is trying to stay on the lead lap. He is 15th position. The last truck on the lead lap. Now we only have 14 as the Killer Bees come on through. Amy, you got more on Kurt Busch?
Remembering that Kurt Busch is a rookie and that a lot of these tracks he's not been to before, it seems as though as the weekend goes on, he gets faster and faster. Naturally, that is going to change the fuel mileage issue. Remembering back to Gateway, Matt Chambers thought he could go 5 laps further than what they could, and they ran out of fuel. Just spoke with Matt Chambers. He said again, I'm worried about this fuel issue because that is what this race is going to be, is a fuel mileage issue. And right now, the best thing they can do is try to stay up and behind the 50 like they are right now, because overall, that's going to help their fuel mileage. He hopes he's got the right calculations this time.
Well, they are on 48 laps on this fuel run. Now, remember, we talked about if you could get 56 laps, you could do this in 2 stops. Obviously, the early yellow. But with 88 to go, remember, 84 laps makes it official. There's Matt Chambers. He's the man responsible for the call. Last pit stop, remember also that Kurt Busch lost 4 positions.
And unfortunately, with this young crew that's still learning, and Kurt Busch is the first to admit this, the crew's got some work to do, and they, more often than not, they have lost positions in the pit lane, and they'll get better with that. And that was, you know, one of the issues, you know, that they have to face up to. And as we take a look back to Brian Reffner, started 6th, currently 3rd, having a great run right now, sitting 4.7 seconds behind Kurt Busch.
His best so far this year, 6th at Mesa Marin. His all-time best was a 3rd at Flemington back in 1998. He's the 95 ASA champ. And as we move a little bit further back, let's zoom in on 4th place. There he is, Jack Sprague. He's 8.7 seconds behind the race leader and started 10th, moved up 6 positions, but so far hasn't found the horses to catch up to the Killer Bees.
And I'll tell you, look at just behind Jack Sprague, there is Randy Tolsma, and Randy Tolsma has really been on the march. Again, like Houston, was not that quick in the first stint, but once he got the truck adjusted, look at the damage on the right side of that truck.
When did that happen?
Well, I don't know when that happened.
Well, he's got the whole right side door caved in.
Well, it doesn't seem to be slowing him down because he's turning laps right now that are just as fast or faster than the leaders. And he's passed Mike Wallace, and he's closing down that gap on Jack Sprague.
He was 0.2 quicker than our race leader, Greg Biffle, last time. Now, let's get more from Dave Burns.
The damage you guys were talking about happened while trucks were spinning and dodging each other when Marty Houston went spinning across the grass on the front straightaway. And it has not affected the handling of that truck. In fact, it's one of their favorites. It's the same one where Tolsma ran very well at Phoenix and also at Gateway. Yesterday, by the way, when they didn't get a good qualifying run, they said, don't worry about that. We never got to do a bonsai run. We're going to move up today, and they certainly have.
Well, we did see damage on the left front of Terry Cook's truck earlier in the race, and it might have been the left side of Cook's truck that got into the right side of Tolsma's truck.
Rick Corelli already a lap down. There's Mike Wallace in 6th position. Now, what's significant, folks, the race leader has just crossed the line. 83 laps to go. This race is now official.
Oh, look at Wallace.
He's slowing down and heading for the pits. Now remember, he stopped back on lap 31. We're on lap 84. That's 53 laps.
Well, it might be time for some green flag pit stops as Mike Wallace makes his way down pit road, 45 miles per hour.
Now he took left side tires. Now remember, under green, you could take 4 tires, but he's still gonna have to make one more stop. Going to the right side. Amy?
Well, this is what Tim Cahoon wanted to do. He wanted to give his driver some fresh right side tires, especially now that we're just 2 laps from the halfway point. Although we haven't had any rain thus far, they have not ruled out a weather situation. A little fumble, though, on the front. They're going for 4. Timmy just now radioing to his crew, let's take the 4. They had him ready. 4 tires. You can do it on a green flag stop here in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Here come the leaders down pit lane.
You're right, Amy, and Mike Wallace goes back out. Now it'll be interesting to see. The Killer Bees are coming in lockstep. That's going to turn the lead over to Brian Reffner. So they make it a total of 55 laps before they have to stop. Amy, coming your way again.
Randy Goss wants to give Greg 4 fresh tires as well, so that's what they're going to do. And it looks as though their Roush Racing teammate is going to do the same. So look for 4 tires and fuel for the 50 Granger Ford.
So now, interesting strategy. As you can see, which pit crew is going to get their driver in and out. You remember the Granger team, one of the interesting statistics, these guys have been training so hard. Collectively, they've lost 120 pounds. And boy, look at how fast they are out compared to Kurt Busch.
And you know, if you're Kurt Busch, obviously that's going to frustrate you a little bit. Amy.
It looked like they had a little bit of trouble on the right side. It took them a while to come around to the left side, not having the vantage point from being on the left side of the truck. When I viewed the pit stop, couldn't see exactly what it was. Dave Burns.
Amy, Randy Tolsma has brought the Citgo Superguard Dodge in. Right side tires on, 1 can of fuel in already. They will go to the left side. The Showalter brothers back at it again this week. Left side tires going on now, and the fuel is full. Front is done, rear is done, and he's out of here, Tolsma.
4,500, first gear.
And that's to keep you at the speed limit of 45 miles an hour in pit lane. And the Citgo Superguard Dodge moves back out onto the racetrack. Here comes Scott Riggs. Riggs is currently shown in 8th position. The guy I'm amazed at is Brian Reffner, our race leader. He's still out there. They're going to work on the right side, some fuel spillage on the RC Cola Dodge. Meanwhile, several other teams are coming. Jack Sprague coming in as well. There's the 24 going by. Now will they continue on the 86 to go to the left side? We can say no. Riggs will only take right side tires on the 86. Sprague is in. Dave, he's all yours.
They better only want right side tires on Jack Sprague's truck because he's too close to the wall to change lefts at this point. He swung it way in, and now they're having trouble getting the truck up at all. Fuel already going in, and they're only going to change right side tires for Sprague.
Well,
I lied. They're going to try to change lefts, and here it goes. There's no way that Joey Arnold is going to be able to do it unless he pumps real short. That's what he's doing now, short strokes for Arnold as he finally gets the truck up in the air, and they will go to putting the left sides on as well. Calculated problem, perhaps, for Sprague is now they've got to push him out. The truck's not under fire.
Boy, what a disastrous pit stop. And this is a team that has been together for years. They just don't make these kind of errors, Jeremy.
No, very, very surprising. A, that Sprague got it in so close to the wall, and B, that it won't refire here. There it goes.
He finally gets it started, but he is definitely going to be, in fact, he already is 1 lap down. There's Marty. There's our race leader, Brian Reffner. Amy, he's all yours.
Right down to the part where he pulled down pit lane. Les Fox still had not decided if he was going to take on left side or 4. He talked with John Menard. They decided let's just take on the left side tires and the fuel and try to get back out there for the track position.
Great, interesting move. Will it pay dividends?
Well, very surprising, but of course the biggest development in this whole round of pit stops has to be Jack Sprague.
Well, Rob Morgan has taken over the race lead as he has yet to make his second pit stop. Now remember, Morgan also pitted on lap 31. He has gone a total of 61 laps on a tank of fuel. The Axiom Ford getting the best mileage of everybody out there.
Now let's show you what happened to Jack Sprague when he came in for this pit stop.
And now there was a truck there in the box in front, but it wasn't that much of a problem for Jack Sprague, and he just got it. First of all, he drove over the hose. He went too deep into his box, drove over the hose. They had to back him up, but still, Sprague definitely too close to the wall. So all sorts of problems on this stop for Jack Sprague.
It started off badly, and it went downhill from there. Look how long it took him just to get the right side up. Sprague is in 16th position as a result of this pit stop and a lap down. Well, he did it last week. He came from a lap down to win at Evergreen. But that was a half-mile track, or 3 5/8 mile. This is a mile and a half. Stay with us.
Marty, he's not really a lap down because you're referencing that off Morgan, right? So we need to wait until Biffle comes around. I mean, technically he's a lap down, but we've got to wait for this to reset now.
I think he's a lap down. I'll be willing to place a wager. He just crossed the line, and he is a lap down. Okay. Only lefts on the 46?
No, rights and lefts.
Rights and lefts, okay. So, say that again. Okay. And
look at Grissom.
Grissom up to second.
Because remember he stopped on lap 39 on that second yellow.
Right.
Pretty amazing there that Wallace had to stop on lap 84. Morgan went another 9 laps.
I know. But look at
hey,
this.
Dave and Amy, can we ask those guys how they got that incredible fuel mileage?
Wait a minute. Did Morgan just go down a lap to Refner? I think he did. They both did. The 46 is shown a lap down. How in the world?
You gotta give this a couple laps to settle in.
Well, but the 3 just went by the 46. I mean, blew past him.
Well, that was his out lap. Now, is this, okay, so Grissom's back in now.
Yeah, here comes Grissom pitting on 97. Actually, it'd be 98 after he crosses the line.
So he's,
or no, I'm sorry, it is lap 97. How in the world? Morgan's a lap down.
What were you guys wanting to know about?
how did Morgan get such incredible fuel economy? He went 9 more laps than...
lap 102, right?
No,
lap 93.
93.
But that was 9 more laps than Wallace, and that was 8 more laps than the Killer Bees.
And I'm still trying to figure out how, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how the 46 goes a lap down on that deal.
Now the question is, I think Refner is dead meat here on these on his tires. Well, Morgan must have fallen back further than we thought.
Yeah, because I mean he's behind. Oh man! Oh, Morgan almost went up to the wall. He got a tap from back marker.
He had a plus 25 pit stop, plus 25, more than 25 seconds.
Okay. All right.
Randy Tolsma went to Daytona with high hopes for his 2000 season, but bad luck has set the tone for this team, and each race, instead of getting better, it seems to get worse.
I told him earlier if he had a duck, it would drown. It looks like it hasn't changed one bit. His luck is just terrible.
This one hurts probably the worst. I said I could come into Monroe and win, and, you know, we did all we could do. And so when you do that and you don't win, you begin to wonder if you can't pull it off.
And that bad luck has followed Randy Tolzman, the Sitco Superguard Dodge, here to Texas. This weekend, they blew a motor before qualifying, and then they were caught up in that Andy Houston accident in happy hour. But right now, they are still fighting to get that bad luck and just get rid of it, because right now, they are currently 4th, although they do have to stop one more time. This could be the race that Randy Tolzman takes to victory lane.
And there's not a doubt in the world that everybody is rooting for this guy in the garage area. Tolzma, 21 seconds behind the race leader right now, and that is Greg Biffle. Tolzma getting around Carl Long in the 23 truck. Right now we're seeing on the scoreboard 6 trucks on the lead lap. Biffle, Bush. Bush has gotten around Reffner, by the way. He's back to 3rd. Tolzma 4th. Mike Wallace. Oh, we've got a crash. Look out, everybody. And it is Joe Ruttman coming out of turn 2. And I can't see who else is involved in this, but boy, some of our race leaders made it through. And the 72 of Randy McDonald is also involved in this deal. Ruttman was a lap down in 8th position. Wow.
That's a downforce package right there.
Where'd you hit? What'd you hit with?
Pretty hard. I'd say very hard.
Can you see where you're going?
Not very well. If he looks out the side window, he might do a little better.
Well, unfortunately, both these trucks in really rough shape.
Well, we're going to take a commercial break. We'll rack up the replays when we come back to Texas Motor Speedway in the Pronto Auto Parts 400.
Slow down, Joe. Slow down. Slow down. Slow way down. Slow down. Whoa, 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 whoa. Down. Go behind the wall, Joe. No. Shut it off. You got oil everywhere. Shut it off.
Oh, yeah. See that puddle of oil it left?
Yeah.
Did you?
Looks like Houston's getting ready to come in, Andy.
Well, McDonald was the one that was getting real close. Oh, he got, yeah.
All right, turn right, Joe. Turn right behind our pit stop, guys.
Man, 3's coming in, 99's coming in.
Yeah, I got to put a slam on McDonald for that. Who's coming in?
Well, he was real. Okay, he was real close with Biffle. Remember?
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying.
See, now Reffner gets his rights. Back at Texas Motor Speedway, Amy, the 99 was in, and so's Reffner.
The 99 took a splash of fuel, but Brian Reffner decided to get those right side tires. Remember, their green flag stop, they only took on left, so now they have the fresh set of rights to go along with it.
And a great piece of strategy. Also, Mike Wallace comes in, and looks like his stop is a little bit slower. They're working on the left side, and he's pulling back out onto the racetrack now. Our 3rd caution of the day, contact between Randy McDonald and the 18 of Joe Ruttman.
And this is good strategy by all 3 of these trucks, because right now only 6 trucks shown on the lead lap. There is Ruttman's truck behind the wall being fixed. There was a massive oil leak we saw as that truck pulled into its pit box. So those guys have got a lot of work to do.
There is your race leader. The 50 did not pit. The 14's a lap down. That's Rick Crawford. 2nd place right now is the 99 of Kurt Busch. Although that could change because he did make the pit stop. We'll wait for him to cross the stripe. Here's the reason for the caution. Watch the 72.
Now this is Joe Ruttman trying to put a lap on Randy McDonald in the 72, and they get together down between 2 and 3. And there's Ruttman's just going to get the wall right there. There's where McDonald got the wall. And very lucky that a bunch of these other trucks, look at Ruttman as he comes up the racetrack. Those trucks threading that needle there.
Take another look.
And they've already spun at this stage of the game, but you can see McDonald comes up, Ruttman goes up, and look at these trucks come right through here. And boy, lucky for Ruttman, he got that thing turned around.
Jack Sprague is back into the pits. They had a horrible pit stop last time. Now, look at this. They're having a problem making an adjustment. A lot of upset crew members. That is rare for the GMAC Financial Services Chevrolet. Very rare.
Well, I think that has to be frustration from the last pit stop, which was really a mess for them. And they are, in fact, down a lap now.
Dave, you've caught up with Joe Ruttman?
Yeah, Joe's cooling off here. Looks like he's been working awful hard to try to save this thing. But, Joe, describe what happened.
Well, you know, I got bumped a little bit, and I just couldn't save her. I didn't want to drive her back to the wall on the outside, and I probably should have tried driving her a little more, but I didn't. So the old Dana Dodge is injured a little bit, but the boys are working like crazy and see if we can't get out and make a few laps and get a few points out of the deal anyway.
At this point, that's all it looks like they're going to be able to do. This truck will not be competitive. And, guys, I guess Randy McDonald out there has been close to a few trucks tonight and got too close to Ruttman.
Let's go from Joe Ruttman's point of view and take you on board.
Now, keep in mind, this is Joe Ruttman putting a lap on Randy McDonald. Now, Joe Ruttman doesn't give him a ton of room. Here's the hit.
Whoa.
Look at Rob Morgan.
Refner and Morgan, so close. Now, on board with Scott Riggs. Now, watch McDonald on the left.
And you can see McDonald gets a little bit loose there initially, and that's not the hit that gets it. It's the second one, because he gets down on the apron and then gets up and taps Ruttman.
Scott Riggs, 1 lap down in 7th position. Only 6 trucks on the lead lap. The work fast and furious in the 18 area. Stay with us. Back with more after this.
I think he must have had a slow stop, yeah, and he must have been a lot further behind than we knew he was. Look at Houston.
Yeah, and he's
up,
and on the lead lap. And that earlier stop by Grissom got negated because he stopped under green, then the yellow came out.
Right.
All right.
Yep.
And Biffle's in.
All right, you ready, Jim?
Well,
they're
they're thinking. Remember, we talked about going the distance. Back at the Pronto Auto Parts 400, lap number 108 has been completed. It looks like the 50 team is going to roll the dice. This could be their last stop. We're under our 3rd caution of the day, and they're going for fresh rights. Amy?
Well, Randy Goss is giving him right side tires, but they're going to wait here and get 2 cans of fuel in. They've got the fuel full, so the 50 is in good shape for fuel, and it looks as though Mike Wallace and Tim Cahuth are kind of thinking down the same lines. Let's get some fuel.
Did you see how?
Tell you to go up or stay below the line.
Did you see how carefully those guys were putting the last bit of that fuel in the truck? I mean, they knew that they were under yellow and there was not a big time problem, but they were very careful to get every ounce of fuel in that Granger Ford.
Now remember, the first time they stopped after our first caution, when they had a full run, it was 53 laps. They're thinking now, Randy Goss is basically saying, guys, I'm going to run the last 59 laps on this set of tires and this tank of fuel.
Well, boy, based on what they've already done, that is pretty bold strategy, I have to say. Now, the guys that ran real well were Rob Morgan on that on that long green flag stint, but Wallace didn't run that well, nor did Biffle, nor did Bush.
There's Randy Tolsma, currently shown in 6th position. Let's get an update from Dave.
Randy Tolsma came in under yellow. They put fuel in the truck. Randy wanted no adjustments, didn't even put tires on it. And Crew Chief Gary Showalter says they can go to the end on fuel, no problem.
And the 99 of Kurt Busch has now pulled down pit lane. It looks like they're going to go for the same strategy, except they're going left side, Amy.
That's right. They're going to take on left side tires, and they are also going to go for 2 cans of fuel. Now, Mike Wallace is doing the same, although they're taking no tires. Tim Cahuth decided that at lap 109, just giving them 1 more can of fuel, they should be able to go the rest of the way.
That's 58 laps to the checkered flag. Now remember, we're still under caution, so you get about 2 for 1 in that exchange. So if we have another couple of laps, that would put these guys in that window. Might be a stretch, but we'll find out.
Well, I mean, you know, I was interested when Dave said that Gary Showalter said Tolsma, no problem, because that would really be stretching it.
Trying to check the stats to see the last time when Randy Tolsma pitted. I see him back at lap 88. There's no way he can go the distance at lap 88. Brian Reffner is now our current leader with all these pit stops going on. Amy?
Well, they're definitely going to have to stop for fuel. Les Bach is talking it over right now with his team, and they know that the last time they stopped when they took on their right side tires, that they only got in 1 can of fuel. So they'll definitely have to stop again. So Brian Reffner might have probably should have come down with the rest of the leaders, because in the long run, this might hurt it.
Well, we're going to double check on Randy Tolsma.
Yeah, Tolsma did come in during that yellow and top off. Remember, guys, only 6 trucks right now on the lead lap, so not a big penalty for these guys to come in and top off. Not like they're going to lose a lot of track position.
We have 57 laps remaining as we're back to green flag racing. A couple of trucks trying to get their lap back. One of them being Rick Crawford. He's the man in the front. Same with Rob Morgan.
And Rob Morgan's been running very well in terms of his pace on the racetrack. So Rob Morgan might get lucky here because A, he's been fast, and B, his fuel economy has been good.
Jamie McMurray stayed out as well. It puts him back on the lead lap. So we have 9 trucks on the lead lap. On board with Scott Riggs. He's getting passed.
And you can see that Wallace was able to get by Biffle.
Here we go. This could get a little dicey. That's Andy Houston. Remember, started dead last in the field, 37th. The 60 truck has taken the race lead.
Wow, what an impressive run for Andy Houston. And it looks like there's not a mark on that truck.
Brian Reffner right behind him in the 3. He is in second. There's Mike Wallace behind Reffner. Then there is Greg Biffle and Jamie McMurray as well. Now McMurray's just been put a lap down again. Back on board with Mike Wallace, looking back at Greg Biffle. Wallace breathed the throttle into 3.
Oh, did you hear that breathe? He should have been on the throttle there, and that's why Biffle got a better run off the corner.
I think a little bit of the air, the downforce taken off
well, it could be, but you could clearly see it. There's the battle for the lead. What's wrong with Houston?
Andy Houston on the high side. Reffner goes around. Here comes Wallace. Biffle may try and follow as well. So Houston became our 6th different leader. We've had 10 lead changes. It'll be 11 this time by. And boy, Andy's going backwards pretty quick.
Well, it makes you wonder if he didn't want to get up front and lead a lap and then get in with these guys and start drafting to save some fuel, because that may be a factor in this whole thing.
We got 53 laps to go, and these top 4 are dicing it like it's a 2-lap shootout.
Well, I think that Andy Houston wanted to get up front and lead a lap, and now he wants to just tuck in and save some fuel. Although he's running out of dirty air there.
Down the back straightaway, through the 24-degree banking. Texas Motor Speedway, Palace of Speed. Great crowd has turned out despite the weather. They withstood the 2-hour and 15-minute delay. This place holds 170,000, and they're spread out all over the place. 14 lead changes is the record here in Texas. We've already had 11. The fans that have stuck it out have certainly seen a great race tonight. There is Houston, Reffner. Here comes Tolsma underneath Kurt Busch. Wallace is your race leader. Biffle is second. Reffner is third. And we've got 7 trucks on the lead lap right now. There's your leaderboard at the Pronto Auto Parts 400. Stay with us. Back to 6 trucks. Crawford's a lap down again. Couldn't hold on.
Couldn't hold on.
It's all right. It's all right.
That was
We
quite
figured
good.
it out. We figured it out. That's all that's important.
Back to the front of the...
Hey, guys, I'd be interested to know what's going on with Houston, because he did get up and lead the race.
And oh boy, I wouldn't get too close to him, guys. Yeah.
Are we? Are the guys drawing straws? Are Dave and Amy drawing straws to see who goes to talk to 24 crew?
Houston came in at lap 91 by my count.
Yeah, that's what I had. Yeah, well,
see,
surprise.
I wondered if they stopped a couple of laps too early.
Topped off with fuel 105.
Who did?
Houston.
Thank you. 105 for Houston top off.
All these boys are very close.
Yeah.
Whoa. Can we go on board with Wallace? Can we see, has he got a camera in the truck? Yeah.
Well, there goes the race lead.
You're clear.
Marty Reed, Jeremy Dale, Dave Burns, and Amy East back at the Pronto Auto Parts 400. We've had a change for the lead, our 12th today, and it is now Greg Biffle back on point. He has led 81 laps so far. In fact, he will lead the most, pick up the 5 extra bonus points. He blew right past Mike Wallace and has now opened up a sizable margin. Let's take you back and show you how it happened.
Well, I think Mike Wallace is struggling with his truck just a little bit here. We saw it about 5 laps.
Oh, crash! Sprague and Rob Morgan. Contact heavy on the inside wall in the backstretch. Oh, what a shame for Rob Morgan. He was running in the top 6. Had dropped down 1 lap on the last round of pit stops. Was running 13th. And boy, Sprague is all torn up.
Well, here comes your points battle. Sprague is the points leader, and that truck, I mean, they may get it rolling again, but boy, what a bad night this team is having. We saw them with problems in the pit lane on 2 separate occasions, and now Jack Sprague is going to bring this truck back to pit lane, and boy, do they ever have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, a bad day has gone into a total disaster. Now, Rob Morgan on the Axiom Ford, he has got both ends of that damage. Now, we're waiting to see if Rob is okay. Of course, he's sort of up against the wall there on the driver's side. There is Sprague making it down into pit lane. That one's pretty much junk for the night as well. Dave, what's going on?
Well, Marty, you can see the damage on the 24 truck at this point. They had just started to move all the carts. In fact, they shooed his wife, Rhonda, right off the top of the cart where she was seated as they were going to move it back to the garage. And now they're motioning to get Jack to pull the thing back behind the wall. They think the radiator's broken for one, among other things, in the front of the 24.
There's Dennis Connor standing on top of the war wagon. And they're going to take it behind the wall. And this is going to shake up the points.
Now, this is critical. Look at these guys. These are all your lead lap players. Biffle, Houston, Refner, Tolsma, all coming down. This is the splash that they needed to get to the end safely. Dave Burns.
And here comes Randy Tolsma, left side tires. This is what they had left. And they're going to fill and top it off with fuel. Let's go to Amy.
The 50 just takes 1 can of fuel. No tires for Greg Biffle. 1 can of fuel. They're good to go to the end. At the 3 of Brian Refner now stops for left side tires. He also gets in the can of fuel that he needs to go the distance.
Guess who stayed out, guys? The 99 of Kurt Busch.
Well, the 99 truck stopped on lap 109. There is Rob Morgan. He's out of the truck walking around.
Well, that is a very good sight because, boy, he took a hard lick on the wall and such a tough break. Qualified second, his best qualifying effort. And let's take another look.
Tolsma there in the 25 truck. And Sprague just loses it coming off 2. And a couple of trucks get by, and Rob Morgan is not able to get by. And we couldn't tell from that angle if Tolsma and Sprague got together, but certainly that was Jack Sprague getting very low. So here's a good angle. And those two not even close at this point. You can see Sprague gets a little wiggle there and gets it up against the wall, but just can't hang on to it. And certainly he might have had a little bit of air shielded off his rear spoiler, because certainly that truck got a little bit loose. And look at the damage to Rob Morgan's truck.
debris all over the racetrack. Be careful of picking up something there. Luckily, both drivers okay. Meanwhile, the work continues behind the wall in the GMAC Financials Services Chevrolet. Mike Wallace is your race leader. He and Kurt Busch stayed out. Will it pay off? We'll find out when we come back. They should have enough fuel with this extra yellow.
Well, see, Busch might have enough.
Well,
right, because these two guys stopped on lap 109.
uh-huh.
Why did Houston come back?
You're kidding.
Oh, this will be fun. Okay, Jack. Okay, stand by. Jack, what did it look like from your viewpoint there?
I was just having a difficult time hanging on to it all night, actually. You know, we could have ran in the top 5, ran out of gas, lost a lap trying to get started on pit road under the green, and I think there was 6 or 7 trucks on the lead lap, so we were trying to finish 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever it was there. And I was on the outside, and I just got loose and couldn't gather it back, and wiggled it a couple times and hit the fence, and about had it back, and then I got hit pretty good, so just lost it.
Jack, on that pit stop, when you were out of fuel then, was it extremely difficult to turn the truck in? Is that why you were so close to the wall?
Yeah, when the motor's quit, you got no power steering, and it quit as soon as I was coming in the pits. But Team GMAC did a good job. We'll go to Kentucky and get him there.
All right, Jack Sprague is out. Points leader, trouble tonight.
Ugh.
Steam and heap.
Boy, that is such a shame for Morgan.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, Sprague
They're making a lot of progress.
Sprague came in with a bullseye on his back, and that's true. Well, and that's good that we get that sound. Hey, modifieds. Joe Morgan, or Joe Ruttman.
Well, really, Dennis, he can blame his pit crew because he never should have run out of gas.
Joe, do you copy me here, ain't
Hey, what an aero package.
All the radios are cut now. I don't know what's wrong.
Okay.
Joe, can you hear?
Okay. You got it. Points as of right now, they're still going to drop. It's 29 because, see, a lot of guys.
A bunch of guys yet to go around him.
A lot of guys that are at lap 119, 117, 114. He has 120 laps completed, so it's going to be real close if Biffle stays in the race, top 3. It's 29 right now.
It's going to be. He's going to lose the points lead.
He theoretically could, yes.
Does that include laps led at most laps?
Yes, it does.
Does that include bonus points?
Yes, I think it does.
Yeah, because even Ruttman's going to get around him. If Ruttman does another 15 laps.
Yeah. I covered my mouth, but it's, I mean, I'm just a mess right here.
If I come out here and look at everything. Oh, man. Oil pressure feel good, Joe?
You know, the big loser in this deal is Setzer, too. 225 is a lot of
Well, he's not going to lose anything to, not going to lose much to Sprague.
Well, yeah.
Lose a whole bunch to Biffle and the rest of them. But this is going to tighten right up.
Yeah, that's what we wanted. Okay. Will do.
So the big question here is the 2 and the 99 on fuel.
I think they got enough, personally. We had how many laps of caution here?
Well, this is a long yellow, though. This is a long yellow, so this might be enough for them.
What was this last caution? How many laps? Yeah, but that's the total. That's not. Yeah, that's the total. I'm talking about this caution because this particular load.
This has been about at least
I thought it was 3 or 4.
5 by the time it's done. I think it's about 5. So they might be good to go.
Yeah, but now do they have enough tire?
Well, they're in pretty good shape.
With the pit stops Bush's team has been having.
You know, Biffle didn't take tires.
That's true. I'm sorry, guys.
Gotta get this Coke thing under control. Chambers. This is great in the mirror.
Ready. Back at Texas Motor Speedway, 6 laps of caution, our 4th one of the race, and we're back to green flag racing. We have completed 128 of 167 laps. On board with race leader Mike Wallace. Remember, he and Kurt Busch did not stop.
They stopped on lap 109, so, well, we've had a long yellow here, so they may have the opportunity. Biffle stopped, did not take tires. Refner did.
Let's set it for you. Here comes Biffle right up on his Killer Bee teammate. And boy, it looks like he's in a cannon going around him.
Still inside. Still inside. You're clear. You're clear.
Biffle made it look easy. Into second spot. Kurt Busch looks like he may be riding up the hill a little bit there on the corners. On board with Mike Wallace. It's Wallace, Biffle, Kurt Busch. 4th place is Brian Refner. 5th is Randy Tolsma, and the last truck on the lead lap in 6th, Andy Houston. Now Jack Sprague is on the sidelines. We said he had a bullseye on his back. He certainly got shot tonight. Let's go to Dave Burns.
Jack, what did it look like from your viewpoint there?
I was just having a difficult time hanging on to it all night, actually. You know, we could have ran in the top 5, ran out of gas, lost the lap trying to get started on pit road under the green, and I think there was 6 or 7 trucks on the lead lap, so we were trying to finish 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever it was there. And I was on the outside, and I just got loose and couldn't gather it back, and wiggled it a couple times and hit the fence and about had it back, and then I got hit pretty good, so just lost it.
Jack, on that pit stop, when you were out of fuel, then was it extremely difficult to turn the truck in? Is that why you were so close to the wall?
Yeah, when the motor's quit, you got no power steering, and it quit as soon as I was coming in the pits. But Team GMAC did a good job. We'll go to Kentucky and get him there.
All right, Jack Sprague is out. Points leader, trouble tonight.
Well, at least now we know why he was so close to the wall on that pit stop. It was such a disaster. Now, we have just set a record for lead changes. are 15th here at Texas. Take a look at the points as of right now, and Sprague is still falling. Biffle would be your new points leader. And Sprague, as we said, I mean, there's still trucks out there that could put him several more points behind. Wallace, Houston, and Bush would round out your top 5. This is going to get very, very interesting. There is Refner and Randy Tolsma. If you're just tuning in, 35 laps to go. Marty Reed, along with Jeremy Dale, Amy East, and Dave Burns in pit lane. We're at Texas Motor Speedway. This is round 11 of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. 6 trucks on the lead lap, led by Greg Biffle. You're looking at Brian Refner and Randy Tolsma. They're duking it out for 4th.
And Greg Biffle on the last lap ran the first sub 31-second lap we've seen here all night, 30.9 seconds. So Greg Biffle right now very, very quick.
The top 6 that are on the lead lap, 4.17 seconds separates all of them. Look at this, 172.5 miles an hour. Qualifying was at 178.
And right now, no question about it, Greg Biffle has got the best truck.
There you see Biffle. He has opened up the margin a little bit over second place Mike Wallace and Kurt Busch. 3 Fords running up front. Then it's a Chevrolet in 4th and a Dodge in 5th. Let's go at the line this time by. See who's the quickest this time. Looks like it's going to be Mr. Biffle. And you've only got the 6 trucks on the lead lap, so that's why you only see the top 6 speeds. Andy Houston losing a lot of ground there. He's at 169 and change. Boy, Biffle looks like he's got it on rails.
Well, you've got to think that Andy Houston is just happy to be on the lead lap, and right now, if he can keep it together, pretty much guaranteed a sixth place finish. Maybe he just can't race with these guys tonight, but he's done a great job coming from last position. And look at that, Kurt Busch, the quickest on that last lap.
So a little bit of change there between the top 3, but not a whole heck of a lot when you get right down to it. They're all flying pretty fast. 31 laps to go. Biffle still appears to be in control by 1.1 seconds. He's already got 10 career victories, one earlier this year at Pikes Peak. His worst race of the year was at Martinsville, where he came in 14th. And the Fords have definitely dominated this race.
Well, you know, as we've already discussed, when they unloaded this 50 truck on Friday, it was, without question, the fastest and best truck.
Well, Randy Tolsma's crew is praying that he can get back up from his 5th to 1st place. We'll find out. Stay with us. A flag star. Okay. Flag staff or flag star? Okay. Right. More racing action later today. We've got IROC action. That is at noon Eastern time. Dr. Jerry Punch, Benny Parsons, Ray Evernham will all be at Brooklyn, Michigan for that one, round number 3. And then the ARCA Flagstar 200 at 1:30 Eastern time on ESPN. All from Michigan Speedway later today. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network, go.com.
And look at that, Kurt Busch got around Mike Wallace. And so that happened just as they caught Ruttman there.
Ruttman looking like a modified after heavy contact with the wall. In fact, I was surprised he even made it back out, but he is racking down some more laps. That's all important in the points chase. And right now you've got a Roush sweep in the making. They've done it once so far this season. It could happen again. 27 laps to go. A 1.9 second differential last time by between 1st and 2nd. And look at the traffic now. This could get real interesting. Tommy Croft in the 71 by Kurt Busch right there. Ooh, don't ride up, Tommy. Croft in 20th position. He's shown 7 laps down. Jeff McClure there in the 27. He gets another lap put on him by the race leader. Looking a little further back, there's Randy Tolsma. He is your 4th place runner. He's shown 4 seconds behind the race leader. 26 laps to go. Now 25. Tolsma going around some slower traffic. Dave Burns, give us an update.
2 laps ago, Marty, he dove into turn number 1, got underneath the 3 truck of Brian Repner to take over that 4th spot. His pit stop was actually a little trickier than we thought when he changed those left side tires. He was already tight. They found that out when he was running with Jamie McMurray. So they had to make an air pressure adjustment when they put on the left side because that normally tightens the truck up. Looks like they've done it well enough. And as I said, Tolsma moves into 4th.
And he gets around some more slower traffic. Randy Tolsma, it's been the good, the bad, and yes, even sometimes the ugly. He's got 5 top 10s, 2 of those in the top 5. His best of the season was last week, and he's got the most laps led without a win at 200. He's moved up to 10th in the points, but they keep knocking on the door, but just can't quite knock it down. Tolsma crosses the stripe, 4.8 seconds behind our race leader with 23 laps to go.
And Randy Tolsma's attitude could not possibly be any better. We talked to him yesterday, and certainly they were down after last week's situation up at Monroe, but you know, they stuck together, maintained a good attitude, and it's like, hey, let's go to Texas and let's start over, and we can win races. And there's no question about it, this team can win races.
Well, I'll show you how tight this team is. The whole team played in a charity softball game that they had committed to. Take a look at the interval now. And it was for motor racing outreach, played at Cornelius Parks and Recreation area, and the whole team showed up. I mean, that's how tight this group really is, and that's the kind of deal that sometimes can rip a team apart. But here they are, bouncing back. Now, this is a battle for 10th, with 9th also at stake with Grissom in the 43. The 73 of B.A. Wilson, our one to watch, has moved up to 10th. The bottom Texas racer doing very well in front of the hometown fans. And also in that mix is the Dallas racer in the number 7. That's David Starr. So those 3 guys got their own little battle going on the racetrack. Let's get more on Steve Grissom, Dave Burns.
Well, and with the King, Richard Petty, in attendance here tonight. He's had a tough go, but they've come in some 8 times to adjust on that truck. And since the last caution, he passed 5 trucks, including most recently David Starr, who's trying to track him down again. So Grissom and the team bouncing back after struggling all night.
Well, he's raced here twice in Winston Cup action in 97 and 98. Both times he finished 10th. And right now he's doing 1 better. And if you stop 8 times and you're only a lap down at this track, you're doing good.
Well, it's pretty remarkable. And I think most of that deficit came early in the race. They've been pretty quick, and right now the truck running good laps, only a few tenths off what the guys up front are doing.
Meanwhile, let's move back to the race lead. It's now 1.5 seconds. Kurt Busch trailing Greg Biffle. What's going to happen as the laps wind down? Stay with us. 20 to go. This thing's on ESPN now. The battle for 8th has taken a turn. The 73 of B.A. Wilson has gotten around Steve Grissom, bumped him back to the 9th spot, or actually he'll move to 9th and bump Grissom to 10th, I should say. And there's David Starr right behind Grissom. These 3 a lap down to the race leaders.
And right now about 3 seconds behind Rick Crawford, who sits in 8th position.
Let's go back to the race lead. There's Randy Goss sitting on top of the war wagon talking to his driver, Greg Biffle, in the Granger 4. 2.2 seconds now the race lead over his teammate, Kurt Busch.
You're clear.
Goes around Doug George, putting another lap on the Hot Wheels Dodge. Terry Cook also going another lap down. He was one of the early yellows. Rob Morgan had a great run going. Dave Burns has caught up with him behind the wall.
Marty, he was delayed just a little bit because he was pretty sore recovering. How do you feel now?
Feel pretty good. It's a little sore between my shoulder blades, and my left foot's a little sore. I guess I got it into the brake or something. I don't know, but I just hate it. We had a really good truck, and I hate it. Not so much for me, but for the guys. I mean, it was a brand new truck, and they've been working so hard. It looked like we were going to have a good, solid top 10 finish, and I wanted it for them more than anybody else, and it means more work for them is what's bad about it. But it's one of those deals. I just didn't have anywhere to go. Looked up. Jack was in the middle of the racetrack. I mean, I didn't have time to hit the brake or take my foot off the gas or anything.
Well, and as Rob now looks and watches Joel White has hit the wall in the backstretch, bringing out another yellow. The guys, this team really did show a lot here tonight at Texas.
They certainly did. Joel White was running in 24th position, his first ever Craftsman Truck Series race, and the Sontag Ready Mix Chevrolet. Qualified 28th from Royce City, Texas, so another one of the Texas residents. But this one isn't turning out too well for Joel White. Don't have a replay on this one, so we don't know exactly how he ended up into the wall, but it has brought out our 5th caution of the race. And we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, will it be a victory for the Granger Ford team? We'll find out here at Texas Motor Speedway. Who? Oh, I'll make it, but I can't take any more medicine. That screws me up. I can't think clearly. I sniffle between. Yeah.
Okay, so you know, I can't believe that
they're at the back.
I can't believe these guys aren't stopping for right side tires.
There's 14 laps to go.
Yeah, 3's in 2.
Rights and rights.
I'm surprised these guys didn't stop.
Well, this is
the leaders. I'm very surprised.
Maybe they don't have any more.
Well, that's a possibility. Yeah, I guess they beat the
3 truck out.
The 3 truck out. I just saw Dave Burns.
Okay. It looks like they're having trouble getting Joel White out. Do I have time to take a pit stop of my own? Uh-oh, they're getting the gurney. This is gonna take a little while.
I don't think it's gonna take that long, because he's out.
Well,
yeah, you go.
I'll be right back.
I'll handle it, Marty. Yeah, Marty's gone. The 99's not. What about the 50? Accessing. No, well, good for them. think about something?
Yeah, I'll tell you what I was thinking about.
What?
2 more laps, and we're in the 10-lap rule.
Right.
Yeah, which means instead of being at the back. Thank you. That means that the stop by Refner and Houston could pay big dividends.
I'm surprised that, well, okay. Yeah.
Well, that's...
Okay,
right.
so the thing is that 10 laps around here is a fair distance.
Yeah.
And you think, okay, maybe the 50 truck
it's 15 miles.
Is confident, but if you're not the 50 truck, if you're 99 or the 2, you take tires. Because you already know you don't have anything for them.
Well, that's a very good point. But Kurt Busch's...
Okay.
Oh, and I guarantee you the reason Busch didn't stop is because their pit stops are still horrible.
But if you're Mike Wallace,
that could be a...
You know, if you're Randy Tolsma.
Well, Tolsma's gun shy about stopping.
Oh, well, but there's 6 trucks on the lead lap. I mean, you stop. You know, you can make not only you get fresh tires, but you can make one last adjustment.
Well, maybe does Dave or Amy have any input from the crews? Are they second guessing themselves because this yellow's going to take us under the 10-lap rule?
Want to explain that again? Well, Dave, I'm just thinking about it in terms of, okay, so maybe the 99 is a little gun shy because their stops haven't been that good. But the 2 truck is good, and you know you don't have anything for these guys, so why not stop and put tires on and make an adjustment and take a shot at it?
See, when the yellow came out, there were 15 laps to go. Well, now there's going to be less than 10 by the time we go back to green flag racing, which means the top 6 trucks are all nose to tail. So Houston and Refner may be 5th and 6th, but they're right there with 2 fresh tires and
no lap trucks
and no lap vehicles in front of them. So
I understand your point.
Is the 2 truck second guessing themselves and the 25 truck second guessing themselves? I mean, we know why the 99 didn't stop. They have no confidence in their pit stops right now.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
25 is what you're telling me.
You should have gone between the eyes. Yeah.
Well, let's show you the points right now. Let's see.
Hey, Jeremy and Marty.
Yeah. Yes.
I just touched base with the 99 and the 50, and they have tires, but not tires that have too many laps on them to where they don't think that they're going to benefit them.
Okay.
And the 99, they know they need something to get by the 50 because Kurt's complaining of extremely loose condition coming off of turn 3, and he's horrible in traffic. He said that these restarts are killing him when the trucks are bunching up behind him. So right now they're just trying to hold on. The 50 is confident they've got the truck to go to victory lane.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we need 2 and 24 because those are big
25.
question marks. 25, excuse me.
Get the 38 up
Yeah,
behind
I
the
could
3
do that.
truck.
Okay. Yeah, the 2 and the 25 are the only ones we have a question about.
Here we get up. Here we get up.
If Biffle wins, he gets the $10,000 bonus. I got to get that in.
1 to go.
You got any of them burgers left, Show? I'm pretty dang hungry. Somebody's out of the way over there for me. Yeah, I got a few. You can stop in and get some.
So what do we got? 9 to go. Next time by, there'll be 8 to go.
pass you, let them off.
And Biffle wants a burger.
Post is called there. Fix it.
Okay. And what are we going to show on the 3? Okay. Only 6 trucks on the lead lap here at Texas Motor Speedway. There'll be 8 laps remaining when we go back to green flag racing. Those 2 stopped, Andy Houston and that man right there, Brian Reffner, in his 100th career start in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. There's only been 133 races, and you can see he's had 7 top 10s. He has the most starts without a win by any driver, 99 prior races. He's got a shot with some fresh right side tires. Now, the question is, there's a couple of teams that didn't take tires, like the 50, the 99, the 2 of Mike Wallace, and the 25 of Randy Tolsma. And the pace truck is going to pull into pit lane, and we are going to go back to green flag racing here at Texas Motor Speedway. Greg Biffle, Kurt Busch.
And man, did Biffle stack those guys up, and was that ever a slow restart? And Kurt Busch has been complaining about his truck being loose and not good on restarts. So this is a potential opportunity for Mike Wallace.
The 10-lap rule was in effect. That meant the 6 lead lap trucks get a clean track. Everybody nose to tail. Whoa, Biffle still bottoming out through that bump through turn number 4. Amy, how about an update on the strategy of the 2 front runners?
Well, I think initially the 50 and the 99 would have liked to come down pit lane and take on tires, but neither of the teams had tires with a little amount of laps on it where it would be an advantage. The 99 was the team that would have liked to have had some fresh tires, because they know right now they don't have anything for that 50 truck, and the 50 is very confident that they can take this thing to victory lane. Dave Burns.
Amy, Mike Wallace's crew chief Tim Cahoot told me they couldn't improve him enough to make a difference with the old tires that they had to put on. So they left him out there. They didn't want to also give up a track position spot to Randy Tolsma, who was likely to stay out. When I talked with Tolsma's crew chief, Gary Showalter, he said the truck is excellent right now for Randy Tolsma. Tolsma loves it. He's flat-footing it all the way around here. There's really nothing more they could do to improve it.
About 5.5 laps remaining here at Texas. Look out. It looks like Busch is going to lose the spot. Tolsma's underneath him. He's pushing up.
Well, yeah, you know what? There's something wrong with Kurt Busch, because look at that truck moving all over the racetrack. Wallace is by. Tolsma is by. Yeah, definitely. Something is wrong. He may have hit the wall.
Well, he's got white on those black sidewalls, so I think he got into the wall just enough that he is sliding back. So Kurt Busch has dropped back to 6th position. Every other truck behind him there and all around him is at least 1 lap down, so he's no longer a factor in this one. Here comes Scott Riggs going around him as well. Riggs in 11th spot. Here, let's go back and see. Watch the 2nd truck in line.
Coming off turn 2, and no question, big body slam for Kurt Busch. And he was pushing that truck as hard as he could to try and run with his teammate.
So it will not be a killer bee sweep tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. They did it at Pikes Peak, but it's not going to happen here. Busch is sliding back. 4 laps remaining. Does anybody have anything for the 50 of Greg Biffle? Remember, he gets a $10,000 bonus from Craftsman if he wins from the pole. Now there is Marty Houston, and he goes around Brian Reffner. Reffner is losing ground.
Well, that's not for position. Reffner right now is 5th.
Yeah, those are all
Busch. Yeah, these are all trucks that are lap down. Busch is 6th, Reffner is 5th. He's not losing positions there. Certainly not running with Houston, but right now a solid 5th for Brian Reffner.
But he has now lost contact with the 60 of Andy Houston, who is shown in 4th. So let's set it for you with 2 laps remaining. It is Greg Biffle 1st, Mike Wallace 2nd. They're both in Fords. The Dodge of Randy Tolsma is 3rd, and 4th place is Andy Houston in the Chevrolet.
And look at Tolsma. Tolsma coming up behind Wallace now, so this is the battle for 2nd. Tolsma looking good here.
Tolsma finished 2nd last week at Evergreen. This time by, the white flag is out. There'll be 1 lap to go. for Greg Biffle.
Ruttman's up ahead. Ruttman's up ahead.
Could it be his 7th super speedway win? Yeah, did you hear Biffle? He's not leaking oil, is he? Remember, that cost him a win at Memphis. Ruttman was in front of him on the last lap. He slid up, Sprague slid under, and took the victory.
That's what you call a good day at work, guys.
This, he's having fun.
Right on Ruttman.
Tell you what,
Let him
folks.
take it.
You've just seen a great run. Greg Biffle, your winner.
Inside. Good job, guys. Great job.
His 11th career win, 2nd of this 2000 campaign, his 7th on a super speedway, and the Granger Ford is now your points leader in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series for the year 2000. Dave has caught up with crew chief Randy Goss.
And I got to ask him, Marty, at the beginning of the race, Randy, Greg said he was nervous because it looked like it was yours to lose. Were you as nervous as Greg was tonight?
Yeah, we were both real nervous. I mean, Greg's always nervous, but when he knows he's got an awesome truck, he's a lot more nervous. And the engine shop's just been busting their butt up there in Livonia, Michigan. We appreciate everything they've done. Same with the body stuff, too. I mean, just the team was awesome in the pits today. Incredible. When you got something that good, you try not to mess it up.
Well, and Randy hit it on the head. The body guys came through as well as the motor guys with all those changes, and Greg Biffle comes home with a big win here tonight at Texas.
Guy, tell Randy his driver's stuck in the grass. He was doing donuts, and he slid out onto the grass, and he can't get out. Stay with us. We'll catch up with him in Victory Lane.
He's going to get it out.
Oh, it's a good thing we're not live. Well, we can't do a Victory Lane interview because the donuts didn't work. Oh yeah, drive across the Casino Magic deal. That'll really go over well. Yeah, just keep backing up.
Oh, he's going to go in that hole. That's not good.
There you go. There you go. Uh-oh, we're off in the grass again.
We're not going to get any in, but we'll go anyway.
Who's got Victory Lane? Okay. Finished third.
Yeah, I think Tolsma, after last week's disappointment.
Congratulations. I'm going to cue you for turning up my grade.
And Houston. I mean, Houston, what a run.
I said, stay in the car.
Fourth place.
And I'll tell you when to come out. Okay. Then I said, congratulations. Then I said, I'm going to cue you for turning up my grade. Sorry, dude. That's all right. I couldn't get out of it. I could back up. I couldn't. Just stay right there until they tell you, okay? You want a drink? Hey, Beth.
Round 11 of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. The Pronto Auto Parts 400 is presented by Pronto Auto Parts Stores, always the smart choice for auto parts. And in part by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by Daytona USA, the official attraction of NASCAR. Let's go down to Victory Lane. Amy East is with our winner.
And Greg Biffle takes the pole position, and he takes the win. That's a $10,000 bonus from Craftsman. And the Granger truck has done it as the confetti just flows here in Victory Lane. He said from the beginning, I'm nervous about this race. We cannot make a mistake, and the team was simply flawless.
Your team didn't make a mistake today, and you knew that that's what would take you guys to victory lane today. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. I'll tell you what, my hat's off to the fabricators. Those guys back at the shop that built me this truck, Will Genson, and all the guys just built me a great truck. They spent all the time in the world in this truck, and this Granger team did a great job preparing it, and the pit stops were awesome. And I'll tell you what, I'm just so happy to have the Granger Ford in victory lane for the second time this season, and what a place to do it, Texas. It's evaded us a couple times, but we're happy to be here.
Well, you said that you guys thought you had something for Sprague, and you're now the points leader, so you did have something for him. Tell me a little bit about how flawless this crew was today, and that they just stuck behind you all day.
They did. It was unbelievable. I mean, the truck was just about this fast off the trailer, and we just made a few adjustments, and we were lost in practice. We didn't even know what to do to it. It was so fast, and made some adjustments, and believe it or not, got it faster. And Bush had me about, you know, for a ride there at the end. My hat's off to him. He's done a great job this season, so these Granger guys are awesome.
Sounds good. Go celebrate with your crew.
Thank you.
Dave Burns is now standing by with Randy Tolsma, who probably had some better luck than he thought.
Well, he had a great night, and he stands by with wife Tiffany here. And Randy, how redeeming is this finish here tonight after last week?
Not even after last week, but last year here, you know, we were running second coming in for the white and got involved in an accident. So back-to-back for the Citgo Superguard Dodge to be second and a third on a short track and super speedway shows what this team has been capable of all year, and we failed to show it with accidents or misfortunes, so it's good to start putting it together.
All right, guys, and remember last week that race at Evergreen put him into the top 10 in points. He's going to keep moving up, it looks like.
He's up to 8th, guys. I mean, let him know, because they are creeping up the list. Let's take a look at the unofficial results. The double arrows mean that Biffle led a lap and the most laps, and everybody else at least led 1 lap. We had a record 15 lead changes. And take a look at some of the runs. Refner with a season best 5th, and then also Marty Houston into 7th, 1 lap down. Riggs another top 10. That's 3 in a row. David Starr matches his career best with an 11th. Then on down through the line, this is where some of the guys had hard luck, and there's Rob Morgan, 29th. Jack Sprague, 28th, did not lead a lap in this race tonight, and he has lost the points lead. In fact, as we take a look at the final page, we'll let you know that the top 4 are going to be amazingly close. When we show you this, you're going to just look at Setzer there, 33rd. That was a big disappointment for them. They lost a lot of ground tonight too.
Yeah, big heartbreaker for that team. Of course, defending champions here at Texas. So a tough go for Dennis Setzer. And you can see there he falls to 6th in the points. So a big blow there. And look at Sprague, who had that big lead, now 14 down.
And look at the top 4. 47 points separate Biffle, Sprague, Wallace, and Andy Houston. Just an incredible night of racing. Remember, our next truck race is going to be at Kentucky Speedway, the Kroger 225, next Saturday, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ESPN. Final thoughts, Jeremy?
Well, you know, everyone knew on Thursday when Biffle unloaded that they were the guys to beat. And Biffle said, you know, we didn't know what to do to the truck. It was so good. Well, they did what they needed to do. They won this race. They're back in this points championship.
Well, thanks for sticking with us through 2 hours and 15 minutes of a rain delay. We did finally get it in. The Pronto Auto Parts 400 is history for the year 2000. We'll be back again later in the fall, one more time, to Texas Motor Speedway. So for Jeremy Dale, Dave Burns, Amy East, I'm Marty Reed. Racehorse Digest coming up next. Thanks so much for joining us here on ESPN's coverage of NASCAR 2000. It was a wild race, and it turned out to be a great night for the Killer Bee, Greg Biffle, as he picks up his 11th career victory and moves into the points lead. That's going to do it for us. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. Good night, everybody.